Cheers everyone, get your wallets ready because this is a great time to come to Japan. The country is opened up, the exchange rate is good for tourists, and your favorite animes are everywhere. No, seriously, please help me. I can't escape. The Jujutsu Kaisen and Demon Slayer goods are following me everywhere I go. So I made a list of some things to know about visiting Japan this winter/early spring, and I'll mainly be talking about January and February. Cherry blossom season is a whole nother thing I'll go over in the next video. Alright, the number one obvious thing to know is that everyone is still wearing a mask. COVID is apparently being treated very seriously here still, and most people are wearing masks even outside. The government actually says you don't have to wear it outside, but a lot of Japanese people are. For what it's worth, it's cold here, and the mask helps protect from the wind, and also I hear that Japanese women, and myself, like to not worry about wearing as much makeup all the time. Most foreigners I've seen here are not wearing them outside though. Hand sanitizer is literally everywhere in every store for you to use, and little screen protector thingies are set up in almost all restaurants and cafes. Stores are still enforcing masks, and I expect that to continue, as the first place to stop will no doubt be criticized. For most people except those coming from China, a COVID test is no longer necessary before or after travel as long as you have proof of vaccinations. Also, February is often a very popular time for Chinese tourists because Chinese New Year is at the end of January. The Japanese government is limiting the amount of Chinese tourists right now, but normally everything would be extra busy around this time. I came to Japan a month ago and I recommend downloading the Fast Track app or go online to their website to prepare for your trip. It'll make your experience at the airport so much easier. It allows you to upload your important documents and prepare for customs to save time. I'm not sure if the government is requiring the use of it, but they're definitely pushing it. But I seriously recommend checking this out if you're going to Japan anytime soon. Alright, next, the yen is cheap right now. Even though Japanese people are complaining that prices are going up, for most Western tourists, the cost of things is going to be very cheap. You can easily find meals for about 500 to 700 yen, or like $5 if you stick to foods like rice bowls or udon. Good luck finding an edible meal back home for that cost. Here, it's cheap and really delicious. Some stores here are even advertising specifically towards Westerners to buy things like electronics duty-free at lower prices than they could get back home. This is also the second cheapest country for Apple products. I recommend checking out the duty-free shops or thinking about things you might want to buy here with the current exchange rate. Some things are already cheaper here, especially Japanese products. If you like cameras, lenses here are often much more affordable. I also advise bringing an extra suitcase or saving space for everything you'll want to bring back. If you're going on the Shinkansen or bullet train, however, be aware that if you have an oversized suitcase, you'll probably need to make a reservation in advance. Speaking of money, make sure you exchange money either before you come or at the airport. Around town, the exchange rate is literally awful. You'll still need cash in Japan for some small local shops and restaurants, most food vendors, and things like gachapon. Most places now do accept credit cards, but I've had my card randomly declined at different places, so just be ready. Most stores will say out front what forms of payment they accept. And speaking of local shops, if you came to Japan before COVID, you might notice that a lot of shops have closed and new shops have opened. I was utterly devastated to find that my favorite melon pan store in Kyoto has closed. Moving on. If you want an idea of what's packed to not stand out too much as a tourist, here's some fashion advice from me at the time of filming. Trends right now include puffer jackets, especially black ones. These North Face jackets are insanely hot right now, but most stores mark them up significantly, so maybe don't plan to buy one here. Oversize is and will probably always be a thing in Japan. Similarly, wide pants are continuing to be trendy. The funniest trend to me now is that sweatshirts with US colleges or cities is trending. Every time I walk through the mall, I'm like, oh, that's my state. Oh, my friend went to that school. Wow, do you think Japanese people even know where South Bend, Indiana is? And color-wise, black is always trendy. Muted colors and shades of beige and brown are also big. Last, all of these trends applied to everyone, but for my ladies, tall boots are once again trendy. But sneakers are your best bet as they're stylish and comfortable. Also, athleisure has not really caught on here yet. I am a huge athleisure fan, but I keep my leggings for the gym. Stylish sweats are trendy though. So come to Japan and wear what you want to wear. Make sure you'll be comfortable because you'll probably be walking a lot. But don't be shocked that Japanese people basically don't leave the house unless they look good. On a different note, it'll be pollen allergy time soon, my favorite time of the year. This is the other benefit of wearing a mask. Going into spring, the pollen here is absolutely ridiculous. When I first visited Japan, I was sick throughout almost the entire spring because of how the pollen kept irritating my allergies. So come prepared with Claritin or whatever your allergy medicine of choice is. Allergy season normally starts in late February, and also know that February is the coldest month most places in Japan. It's just a double whammy. Good luck. If you're far enough north, you might see some snow. I'm still waiting for my first real snow here. And if you're in Japan on February 3rd, make sure you celebrate Setsubun. This is a Japanese festival where people throw beans to drive away evil spirits. Yes, it's as fun as it sounds. If you're in Kyoto, I recommend the Heian Jingu Shrine Festival, but most cities will hold festivals at local shrines. Most will have cool goods and food vendors as well. Lastly, I'm sure you want to prepare for cherry blossoms. I'm going to save info about this for my spring 2023 video, but know that peak cherry blossom time isn't until mid to late March in most places. But good lord, is it worth seeing. I hope you enjoyed this video. Consider liking and subscribing as it helps me big time to keep making more Japan content for you. Abby out.